If you're traveling to Japan for the first time and you're only going to Hokkaido and you're only there for about 4 to 5 days, this is the most generic trip that basically everybody does. Let's get in there. So you're gonna land in HAKODATE, and this is kind of like the southern tip of Hokkaido, and it's probably one of my favorite places in all of Japan. So you're gonna land there, you're gonna get to this dingy old town that looks like the Bronx or some very sad part of Jersey. So you're gonna head over to the HAKODATE morning market, and you're gonna walk by the market, see a bunch of fishermen, see a bunch of different food, be like, wow, this is so much culture, it's amazing. And Hokkaido has some of the best seafood in the world. And if you've ever seen that social media content where the squid is like dancing on the bowl because of the soy sauce, that's here. And you're gonna make your way over to Motomachi, and you have to walk down this big, long dock path, whatever. You're gonna see the ocean, you're gonna see the mountains. You're like, wow, this is beautiful. The air the air is delicious. And you're walking along, you see a Starbucks, and you'll see this one area with like brick houses. You're like, well, this is cool. You're gonna walk in and see a couple shops, and you're gonna see this one shop where it's like all music boxes, and it's like bling, 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 bling. And there's music boxes everywhere. They got Ghibli music boxes, Vulpix music boxes. Who buys this? I don't know. When I think about music boxes, I think about just scary horror films. So you're gonna be pretty amazed by that. Probably not buy anything. So you're gonna leave. You're gonna keep going down this dock, and you see this big clown. You're like, what is this? And you're like, is that like a bootleg McDonald's? But no, it's actually Lucky Perriot. I like to call it Lucky Pietro. It's one of the coolest burger chains and only in Hokkaido. And it's cool because each shop, there's about like 7 of them or something like that, but each shop is differently designed. You're gonna go in here, you're gonna like, wow, I'm gonna try this out. It's kind of lunchtime in it. You're gonna try the Chinese chicken burger with the Chinese chicken meat. It's actually quite good. They got like cheese fries that kind of resemble poutine and guarana. You know guarana? You're gonna keep going and going until you hit Motomachi. So Motomachi is basically the rich area. So it's like a big slope of like houses and businesses, and you can go all the way around and all the way to the top. It's super beautiful. Kind of reminds you of Yokohama Motomachi if you've ever been there. And you get to the top, and you'll see this yellow and black palace, and be like, wow, this is really cool. I kind of feel like I'm in the Palace of Versailles or something like that. And then you're gonna take a cool photo of this slope because it's aesthetic. So after that, you're gonna see this ropeway, and you're gonna be like, I wanna go on this ropeway. It's pretty cool, but the sun's still high. You're not really getting those vibes yet. So you're gonna head back to HAKODATE station and head over to another place called Goryokaku Tower, which is basically the 5-star tower. Goryokaku was built as a center for politics, foreign diplomacy, and defense in northern Japan. Japan's Civil War, the Battle of HAKODATE. Okay, cool. So it's at a military encampment. But anyways, you walk around, see some mountains in the back, and like, wow, this looks like a Windows XP screensaver. There's also like one like Japanese thing. That's like the first Japanese thing you're ever gonna see in this place. Then you can go up the tower. You can go up the tower, and then you can look at the star thing from above, and it's pretty cool. They also have a Lucky Pietro nearby. So if you're gonna go to the Lucky Pietro, like I said, you can also go to one here. So after that, you're gonna head back to HAKODATE and go back to that ropeway you saw by taking a streetcar there. So you can take a streetcar. It goes all the way, like the ones in Toronto, goes all the way to the base of that mountain. You go up to that part, and you start going up this ropeway. You're gonna go up the ropeway. You're gonna look back and go like, wow, I wonder where we're gonna go. What's on the top of this mountain? You look behind you and like, whoa, look at that cityscape. Wow, this is an absolutely amazing town. I love to see buildings being hit with sunlight. So then when you finally get to the top, you're gonna kind of be at like the top-ish part of the mountain. The sun's coming down, you're like, whoa, look at that sunset. And you look at the sunset, and the sun is red, bro. It's red. So now you know why the Japanese flag for the sun is red. Anyway, you're gonna get to the top. You're gonna see all these tourists and all these photographers getting ready to see the big cityscape change. Finally see it turn to night, and it is so beautiful. And it's actually one of the top 3 night sightseeing spots in Japan, and you realize why, because it's lights from buildings, and it is beautiful. Honestly, like all the gap aside, it actually is a beautiful, beautiful spot. It's one of my favorite spots I've ever seen, but it was freaking cold. Okay, so then you're gonna make it all the way back to HAKODATE station, and you're gonna get yourself some kaisendon, which is basically a seafood bowl. You might as well try the seafood. You're right there. The fish are probably right outside your door, and it's super fresh, super nice. And I would honestly recommend, whenever you go to like these countryside spots where you're near the ocean, always try the seafood, because the seafood doesn't have that seafoody like ocean smell. It's like very fresh. There's also a little tiny little street with all these little tiny shops. And you can go on there, have a little sake, have a little Asahi beer, some Sapporo beer, whatever. Spend some time at a teppanyaki, talk to the locals and stuff, because it's going to be a small little area. One of the coolest places that's kind of near the station. I'd recommend that too if you don't want to get kaisen don. Now you're going to spend the night at your hotel and move on to day 2, Sapporo. So first thing you're going to do is get to Sapporo. So you're either going to take the plane to Sapporo, to Chitose, or you can take a train that takes about 3 hours to get up to Sapporo. You're going to get out of the station, be like, wow. And then you look at the cityscape. It is very wide, very big. If you're used to Tokyo, it's a lot wider than that. But anyways, you're going to head to the only area that basically matters, which is SUSUKINO. So now that you made it to SUSUKINO, you're going to see this big sign that says Black Nikka. And you're going to be like, hey, yo! But basically, you'll see that. You'll take a picture in front of it. And you'll probably get some food. You can either go to the McDonald's that's like right across from there, or you can walk around until you find a Seiko Mart. Wow, that's not on my list of combinis that I've heard of. Where's the Family Mart? They have them, but Seiko Mart is a Hokkaido exclusive, except in some areas where it's not. They also have like classic Sapporo. It's like an original recipe Sapporo. Then you also go to Odori Park, which is basically where Sapporo Tower is. Take a picture in front of the tower, take a picture in front of the sign, be like, wow, I'm in Sapporo, guys, check it out, haha. And then now it's time for the nightlife in Susukino, because where else are you gonna go? So you're gonna go to Susukino and you're gonna go get some dinner first. So either A, you can go to Genghis Khan. Yes, it does sound like the Chinese ruler. Or B, you're gonna get some crab. Yeah, you'll pay $150 for crab. It comes in all different kind of crab shapes and sizes. It's quite good. Is it worth $150? Not really. I mean, they all say like snow crab. Yeah, it's just crab, bro. But what do you do at night in Sapporo, bro? There's the Nikka bar, which is where the whiskey bar is. You go to a million for reasons. Or you can go to my favorite place called Rad Brothers, which is basically like a bar, also a nightclub kind of ish, but it's both basically a bar. You'll probably get in there at 7. There's like no one there. Then all of a sudden, after a few drinks, there's like so many people in there. Then yeah, you spend your night at Rad Brothers, and then you're gonna go for some ice cream in it, and you're gonna participate in something called Yoru Parfait, which is night parfait, which is ice cream at night. So these places are open till like 3 a.m. and they have like super fancy parfaits that you can partake in, and they're actually quite good in it because Hokkaido milk is very good. Day 3, Otaru. So Otaru is another place that's like nothing like Japan at all, but yeah, you can get there easily with a train. It's about 30-40 minutes from Sapporo station. You get there and you look down. It's like, wow, it's kind of like a little beach town. It's really cute. It's cuddly. There's a Burger King, and you basically just walk down this hill. And as you walk down this hill, you're gonna see a bunch of shops. You're gonna see a cool aesthetic railway. You'll probably find out it's aesthetic because there's a bunch of tourists taking pictures there. Find this place called Yamanaka Farm, Yamanaka Dairy Farm, and they sell these big Zelda type jugs of milk, and you just shot the whole milk down your throat. You get the milk and you keep heading down until you finally reach the Otaru Canal, which is super aesthetic. A lot of people are gonna be taking pictures here, but if you can get a good photo, it's gonna look like this with the nice canal, the red building, the mountains in the back. So then you can kind of walk down this street called Sakaimachi, which is kind of scenic, cool little vintage shops, kind of looks like Taisho era kind of stuff. And it's honestly quite good in it. It's one of my favorites, and it's a pretty scenic place. Again, it looks nothing like Japan. It's like you're in Boston. So that's the appeal of Hokkaido. It's all about that Western influence. By the time you get back to the regular Otaru, the scenic spot, you're gonna be like, wow, I wanna go on the boat. So you're gonna go on the river cruise or the canal cruise. They kind of take you around and they tell you about the history of this place. Like, whoa, look at this boat. It's really cool. Whoa, look at these mountains. Really cool. Oh, did you know they shot Kamen Rider here? You know, it's really cool. And by the time you finish the evening cruise, the sun will go down and it's gonna be like nighttime. And you're gonna be like, wow, it's like Disney Sea. And then when you get back to Sapporo, I don't know, again, you're gonna head back to Rad Brothers again because there's nothing else to do here. Day 4, Sapporo again, and wrapping up anything else you have to do. So basically on this day, you can walk around Sapporo, do some shopping. There's a place called Tanuki Koji Shopping Arcade or Shopping Street. It's just like a big long shopping street like you see basically everywhere else in Japan. If you want to do some shopping, look at Tanuki. If you're around in the wintertime, you can see the snow festival, try some food like soup curry. I don't know, maybe you can go to a farm like a Bokujo farm where they have like fresh milk and ice cream. One of the cool places is Shiroi Koibito Park, which is kind of like a Willy Wonka kind of factory of how they they make like the Shuroi Koibito Langue du Chat. And it's cool. They do little tours. It kind of reminds me of Maple Story. Yeah, but that's basically the basic Hokkaido trip. If you have a car, you can go to like Niseko. All the Australians gonna go there for skiing. Go to Furano for the lavender fields, the rolling hills, and the windmill. Like all that cool nature stuff you've probably seen on social media is like, you need a car, bro. I recommend if you want to expand this trip to 5, 6, 7 days and go to these different places and see that big mountain, the bootleg Mount Fuji mountain, you need a car. Luckily, you can rent a car pretty easily. If you go on Klook, you can rent a car in Hokkaido. But anyway, guys, that's all we got for today. I really tried to piece this video together. I've only been to Hokkaido once. Yeah, let me know if I missed anything and let me know what we want next.